Hi, this is Mike Taylor from Web-Based Recruitment, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Katharine Robertson, also known as the Sorceress. Now, Katharine, welcome to the call, and perhaps you can give us a bit of information about your background in recruitment.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for inviting me over to talk to you. Well, I suppose I started out in recruitment probably by accident, as most people do. I was hunting for a job I could really get my teeth into, and I ended up meeting with an executive search company that specialised in renewable energy. And they must have seen something in me, because I had no background in recruitment previously, and they wanted someone to come in and help them use the internet better, both to source candidates and to get the company name sort of out there to be found by candidates that were looking for a new job. I started work for them in April 2008, so actually not that long ago.
And, a long time in internet years, though.
I suppose it is, yes. Internet years are like dog years.
Yes.
I just started sort of playing around. I was lucky enough to meet Amy Beth Hale, a sourcer from the US, who pointed me in the direction of some great blogs, told me all about the SourceCon conference, and really sort of set me up on the right track of learning my trade.
Right. So how did the title of the Sorceress come about?
I think that came about when I joined Twitter. I realised that for the SourceCon challenges, you had a big advantage if you were on Twitter.
Right.
So I decided to join up, and I was looking for usernames that were available. And I suppose I come from that era of the internet where you have a pseudonym. Whereas most people today are perfectly happy to use their own name.
Yes.
But I think I was used to trying to be a bit mysterious online.
Right. Okay.
And I noticed that some other sources were kind of using a play on words, so I thought I would do the same thing.
Yeah. And you ended up winning the world title, I understand.
Yes, in March 2010, March last year, I became Grandmaster Sourcer at SourceCon in San Diego. That was I think, a lot of fun, and it really felt like, wow, kind of the hard work of the last couple of years has kind of really paid off.
Yeah, well done for that. So, on the subject of internet sourcing, how can that actually be a benefit? Well, first of all, what is it, and how can it be a benefit to recruiters?
I think it can be construed as anything that uses the internet to, at the end of the day, get a candidate in the process and hired. The sources get involved in all sorts of stuff, and I suppose for me, the ideal scenario is that candidates just appear magically in a recruiter's inbox, and they're good candidates. So I think the first thing I would do is make sure that kind of the recruiters in the team I'm working for are easy to be found, and that I'm easy to be found as well, and it's as clear as possible what I'm working on at the moment and the kind of candidates I'm trying to attract, and then kind of go from there and slowly and carefully kind of work through systematically getting more and more obscure as I go in the methods I'm using to try and track down candidates.
All the information that you're able to find is in the public domain, isn't it, on the internet? It's just knowing where and how to look. Yeah,
most of the searching idea. The only thing that's not in the public domain, I suppose, would be kind of job board CV databases. You've got to have paid for access.
Yeah.
But those candidates have agreed that to put their CV in that database to be searched by recruiters from recruitment companies or direct employers. So I would say yes.
Right.
It's all, there's nothing sort of underhanded, there's no hacking involved. It's just, looking at what people have published on the internet.
Yeah, so looking forward, where do you see the major growth in the internet sourcing arena? Is it mainly going to be used for recruitment consultancies, or do you see corporates getting involved now and actually having a dedicated person themselves?
Well, as I've just moved in-house with Capgemini Consulting, I suppose I've got to say that it's definitely of interest to direct employers. I'm seeing, direct sourcing of candidates a really hot topic amongst kind of HR departments in direct employers. Everyone's looking to save money.
Right.
So, where they can get a competitive edge over a recruitment business, I think they're trying to. But I really do like to emphasise that I don't think any source of candidates should ever be ruled out, because at the end of the day we're all trying to just hire the best person for the job, and if the best person happens to be dealing with a recruitment business, well, you're not going to turn them down.
Right,
and
yes.
you should be open to that.
Yeah.
So I think the recruitment businesses that are being clever and savvy and are growing networks, both online and offline, both sort of traditional and trying out the new things, they're going to do really well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of interest from recruitment companies in internet sourcing.
Right.
And I mean, certainly last year when I was working on freelance projects, almost all of that came from recruitment businesses,
Right.
not companies directly.
Okay.
So yeah, I think they're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But those direct employers are starting to catch up.
Okay. So on the 7th of April, you're going to be speaking at the Social Media Recruitment Conference, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your speaker session there. So what sort of things will you be covering at that event for the benefit of like recruitment consultancies and corporates?
I think I'm going to focus on kind of looking beyond CVs, probably.
Right.
I think a CV is a very necessary part of finding a job, but it's not necessarily the perfect way to find the perfect person for the job.
Right.
I like to think that you find the perfect person and then you ask them very politely if they would like to submit their CV.
Oh, okay. Yes, almost the other way around then.
Yeah. And so I think I'll concentrate on other places or other sources of finding names online.
Okay.
So things like people getting quoted in the press or attending industry events, blogging, LinkedIn profiles, even Twitter and Facebook, maybe. Just finding people rather than finding CVs.
Right. And would you say it was a difficult thing to do, or was it just like one of the many other avenues that recruiters need to have in their toolkit?
I don't think it's necessarily difficult. I think that maybe it's a little shift in mindset.
Right.
I think recruiters are very eager and they want to hit the ground running, and if they've got a CV, it's really easy to tell quite a lot about a person. It's not necessarily easy to tell whether or not they should be interviewed, but you can tell a lot from a person. Should they enter the process, shouldn't they? Is it worth waving this in front of a hiring manager? Whereas just finding a name and a job title online, there's then a bit more work involved. You might speak to the person and they're completely inappropriate. Yeah. So it's a bit more like networking in real life.
Right.
You go and you meet people, and if you go to a networking event, you don't know if anyone there is going to be appropriate for the roles you're working, but you kind of go along anyway.
And start a conversation, yeah.
Yeah, start conversations. I think it's much more open to then things like referrals and building a powerful network than perhaps just trawling CV databases looking for CVs. I think that you're going to make any friends that way, whereas just getting out there online and looking for real people.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds really fascinating. So I look forward to seeing you on the 7th of April. And thanks very much for your time, and best of luck in your new role.
Oh, thank you very much, Mike. And I can't wait to hear everyone else at Social Media Recruitment in April. It sounds like it's going to be a great day.
Good. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.